Good morning. This is a very special Sunday. Our 7th to 9th grade coming of age youth are leading the worship service, sharing the culmination of their year in religious exploration with their credo statements. We use credo to mean a set of personal beliefs that inform or serve to guide our actions. And we imagine that their beliefs will change over time, as they do for many of us. What they share today is a snapshot along their journey. Throughout the year, teachers use material from 3 curricula with lessons about Unitarian Universalist history, spiritual practice, justice-making in our UU tradition, and gifts of our faith. They explored big questions by first answering many small questions for themselves, reflecting on areas like basic human nature, a divine presence or not, and the possibility of an afterlife. They also had conversations that invited them to explore the various communities they belong to and the individuals who influence them, and to consider which truly support them in becoming their authentic selves. This spring, we paired each youth. Anthony, could we have that slide? Thank you. This spring, we paired each youth with a mentor who helped them pull their thoughts together and write their belief statements, which you will hear today. Each is as unique as the youth. They also spent time learning about worship and planning this service. What a gift it is for them to share with us and lead us in worship this morning.
Welcome to the Community Unitarian Universalist Congregation at White Plains. We gather in the light of 4 truths. It's a blessing you were born, it matters what you do, your experience of the divine is true, and an important reminder, you don't have to go it alone. If you are visiting us for the first time this morning, welcome. If you are visiting in person, we invite you to stop by the welcome table and say hello. If you are visiting us online, please click the link in the chat to let us know how we can stay connected. And if you are online, you can follow along with any hymn lyrics or words we speak together in our online order of service. You can find that on our website, and we'll also paste that into the chat. Later in the service, we will share the joys and sorrows of our individual lives. For those here in person, please take a moment to add yours to the book by the south windows. For those on Zoom, please type yours in the chat.
Our opening words come from Penny Hackett Evans. Each of us bring a separate truth here. We don't come as empty vessels, but as full people with our own story and our own truth. We seek to add to our truths and add to our stories. This room is rich with truth, rich with experience. All manner of people are here, needy, joyful, frightened, anxious, bored. We all bring our truth with us. May we all recognize the truth and the story in other lives than your own. And may we hear and honor the truths that we all bring as we gather together. Together we have truths. Together we have a story. Together we are a community.
Please join me in reading our chalice lighting with words from Christine Robinson. We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together.
The hymns we'll sing this morning were all chosen by the youth, so they have special meaning for us all to sing together. This first one is number 100 in our gray hymnals. It's called I've Got Peace Like a River. It's one of the first hymns our family heard when coming to this congregation about, 13 years ago. And so Duncan reminded me, this is the first hymn I learned, so I'm glad to sing it today. So I invite you to rise in body or spirit for I've Got Peace Like a River. I've got peace like a river, I got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow, I've got pain like an arrow, I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow, I've got pain like an arrow, I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. I've got tears like the raindrops, I've got tears like the raindrops, I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I've got tears like raindrops, I've got tears like the raindrops, I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I've got strength like a mountain, I've got strength like a mountain, I've got strength like a mountain in my soul. I've got strength like a mountain, I've got strength like a mountain, I've got strength like a mountain in my soul. Thank you. Please be seated.
Good morning. I owe Tracy a huge thank you for matching me to mentor Duncan Force. Working with Duncan has been a true privilege. He has shown discipline and thoughtfulness during the coming-of-age process, interrogating his own beliefs with care and consideration and exploring where they fit into the larger context of Unitarian Universalism. I've also just enjoyed spending time with him, learning about his interests in science and engineering and understanding how they mesh with his equally important interests in the arts. Plus, he has a colossally impressive collection of Lego sets that I have to say I'm a little bit jealous of, maybe a lot jealous of. He is definitely a force to be reckoned with, and I can't wait to see what he does next.
Hello. My name is Duncan Force. Before I start, I would like to thank a couple of people. I would like to thank my parents, Kim and Christian, for bringing me to CUUC and helping me through this journey, along with just being the greatest people I know. I would like to thank my brother, Tycho, for providing examples from his credo to help lead me through mine. Dan and Cindy Tillman have provided inspiration and help throughout this entire coming of age year and have helped me develop my ideas. And last, but certainly not least, my mentor, Aaron Foster, for guiding me to this point of my journey. Music has been a part of my life for as long as I have been alive. My parents even made me my very own lullaby when I was less than a year old. I sang all throughout preschool, through elementary school, played the drums for the year, and ultimately settled on the trumpet, which I still play today. I think that music is one of the most powerful tools that we as humans have. Music is powerful because it can bring intense emotions from just being in its presence. It is one of the most prominent ways people communicate, and all the genres represent different people who all have different ideas but unite under one thing: music. For example, during periods of migration, our earliest ancestors used music to gather different tribes to make peace. Another example is Woodstock, when thousands of people with different ideas, backgrounds, and ethnicities gathered together peacefully to experience music during the Vietnam War era. Even when a war was happening, people were brought together by music, no matter what they believed. Music is part of my spirituality because I use it as my own way of meditating, using the intricate melodies and dynamics of a piece to process emotions and help me understand difficult problems. I believe in music more than a theoretical God because music is concrete. I can hear music, hold sheet music in my hands, see sheet music, but I can do none of those things with a God. Maybe music could be a God, with how it could unite people in times of despair and cruelty. On the other hand, wars and crusades have started over religions and different versions of what people think gods should be. In those times, nobody went to war over whether they thought Mozart or Beethoven was better. Furthermore, one more thing makes me think that music is supposed to be important. When dementia patients start to lose their memory, music is the last thing that they lose memory of. This implies that music is one of the most fundamental abilities that we as humans have. Moreover, moments of awe are created from music, as well as from harmonies, energetic music, and playing a piece and realizing how far you've come. These moments single-handedly can make you feel like you're on top of the world. This might mean that music could be a higher power. A lot of people think that a god or a higher power will swoop in to fix the world what's in disarray, but I don't think that's what will happen. My truth is that we need to fix the world using music to unite the world. So, in conclusion, I do not believe in a god or gods, but I do believe in music.
Good morning. It has been my pleasure to have worked with my mentee, Julieta Carroll. I was excited to have this opportunity to meet with Julieta because years ago I had really enjoyed mentoring another student. My prior experience with mentoring happened pre-COVID. That former RE group had gone on day trips to a Buddhist temple, a mosque, a Quaker meeting house, and a weekend trip to explore Unitarian roots in Boston. I got to chaperone them at a coming-of-age writing retreat at the Murray Grove Retreat Center in Lenoka Harbor, New Jersey. As Julieta and I got to know each other during our meetings, I learned that in-person trips and long-distance retreats were not available to her class during that long period of COVID precaution. While Sunday morning RE classes had morphed into Zoom meetings, in-person learning gradually returned. Happily, this group recently had a terrific and successful writing retreat with other COA groups right here at CUUC. As Julieta and I explored her reflections and perspectives around belief, I was impressed by how gracefully she articulated her observations. Julieta has a poetic honesty. Refreshingly direct, she welcomed the search for clarity of expression. She spoke with poise about what she is discovering about friendship and family, her beliefs and her hopes. And so I am so happy to introduce Julieta Carroll to the CUUC congregation.
Everyone is asking us what we believe in and how we get there, so I'll tell you my journey. At age 7, religious education class exposed me to other religions like Judaism, Buddhism, and Islam. Even after learning about other religions, I still didn't know what I believed in. I was beginning to think that everyone who believed in a God was stupid. At age 10, religious exploration was not memorable because it was on Zoom. Zoom made it hard for me to pay attention. The only thing I remember was the screen share slideshows, but not even the context of what was in them. Now, at age 12, I believe in something higher up. I was exposed to my grandma's religion, but I didn't give it a second thought because of the way she pushed it onto me. She had very strong ideas that made me feel a little awkward. Now I believe in God and a kind of higher power, but I still do not have enough background to say what I believe in. The lives of people around me are changing. I see how people are changing their lives through religion. My friends are becoming better people by making better choices about how they treat their bodies and how they treat other people too. An event recently got me thinking about a higher power and gratitude. My friends and I were planning to go to Burger King and then go see a movie. Eventually, I decided not to go because I needed to catch up on my schoolwork. Later, I found out that there were 2 opposing gangs, one already eating at Burger King and the other about to go to Burger King. A group chat call came in from a friend who gave us a warning. Get out of Burger King right now, there's going to be a shooting. My friends left and went straight to the movies. I was worried for my friends, but happily they were okay. This experience makes me think a little differently than before. It made me believe that there is a God because I feel God is comforting in times of need. Burger King wasn't a religious exploration, but made me open up and appreciate life. My purpose in life is to live it to the fullest, taking healthy risks, and living in the moment. I want to find ways to improve myself for the better, and not just for the adrenaline rush. I would like to give my appreciation to my mom and my dad for being there for me, to my grandma for all the things that she does, and to Dennis, who had open arms towards me from the day he met me.
Need my specs. Good morning, everyone. This is a terrific day. These fine young people have learned and absorbed, mostly, absorbed an unimaginable amount of information in the last 9 months. And it's been an honor to witness this growth and the path you've all taken. And thanks to each and every one of you for allowing me to be part of this and to learn from each and every one of you. It's been a special pleasure to learn much from my mentee, Nora, as she looked inward and outward and all around in her brave and thoughtful work. And going off my own script a little bit, I think introspection and learning and talking and thinking are not foreign at all to Nora. She's a great talker. And in fact, I think many mentors and mentees have trouble getting together. The whole family rallied to ensure we got together routinely, and at one point I had to tell Nora, you know, it's good to get together often, but every week might be a little bit too much. So I think we both considered our talks a little bit like mutual therapy sessions. But I've learned so much from Nora, and she's balanced many, many pressures, as all the youth have, with grace, maturity, patience, insight, and a greater appreciation and patience for herself. So it's my great joy to introduce Nora Fleck.
Hang on, because this one's going to be a little longer. Life can be a struggle. It has its highs, its lows, its mountains, its valleys, its droughts, and prosperity. In the end, creating a beautiful landscape. But it's hard to get there, to see the bigger picture. Life has struggles and is one in itself. It isn't perfect, but some people try to be, namely me. I try to be perfect. The most recent example, not having a single B in my report card. But that caused me to put a lot of pressure on myself. I would beat myself up when I didn't reach the goal I had set. I'd get super angry, spending late nights studying, and sometimes even cry about my grades. While it's weird to admit that to a room full of people, some being strangers, it's true. I also thought the extra stress wasn't affecting anyone but myself, but it didn't. It caused my parents to worry about me. This sparked a conversation. During this conversation at the dining room table, my parents explained that it was okay to not be perfect, and that they didn't expect me to be, as it's near impossible. My dad told me that he used to do the same thing. He assured me that it wasn't the best thing to do, and could even affect my health. My mom told me it could turn into a bad habit, and would take a long time to convince myself that being imperfect was okay. She reminded me that trying to get good grades was all right, but the extra pressure wasn't necessary. My parents both told me that what I had already achieved was amazing, and I was still smart, even if I had to be in Spanish class. My family is my support. I've had a few issues at school recently, but my family was there for me. They encouraged me not to care about it. They told me to focus on the positive things. They even got me to laugh at the obscurity of it all. I'd like to thank my family. They've molded me into the person I am today, and I couldn't be here without them. I know that they will always be there for me, as they always have. They taught me everything I know, and it's quite impossible for me to imagine a life without them. I do, however, have another family. Here, the people who sit before me in this church. CUUC has such a strong sense of community. I've practically grown up with a lot of these people. This church has always been kind, caring, and accepting. I learned a lot from this church about acceptance. You can be you. Being different is okay, and that's what makes life so exciting. For instance, we've had a few drag queen story times. Drag queens are judged. Many states have even tried to ban drag, but all queens are accepted here. Any member of the LGBTQIA+ community is welcome here. And we learned so much from the people that walk through these doors and sit in these seats. That's why I love this church. We encourage each other to be our better selves and to make the world a better place. Society as it is today is very different from what it was. COVID had a part in doing that. We still haven't recovered from the lockdown, and I believe it can never be as it was. But one thing has always stayed the same. People being forced into the religion that their parents are, regardless they believe it or not. It's a popular thing in parenting, and it's currently happening to some close to me. My parents are pagan, but I was never forced to believe it. They simply taught me. Also, my parents have shown my brothers and I different ways of living. We travel, explore, and experience different cultures, different worlds. But when I try to talk to my friends and classmates about it, they seem so confused. I just recently tried to explain paganism to a friend, and she thought I was a Satanist. Are there kids that do understand me? Yes, but it's very rare. Why don't we teach each other about other things in this world, near or far, home or another country? Let's make the world a better place. I won't tell you how to do it because I don't know. But we should listen, teach each other, maybe be a little kinder. A simple smile can make somebody's day. And learning about all these different things could prevent all the violence and the bullying that this world has. Here comes the part I tell you what religion I am. But the thing is, I'm not sure. I believe strongly in paganism, yes, but I know that there are so many other religions out there, ones I haven't explored. For now, I'm sticking with paganism, but I expect my beliefs to change as I grow and learn more. I do believe in a higher power, but I believe that God is simply a name for an energy. That energy doesn't have a form and can be whatever it wants to be, no gender, no specific shape. It isn't a destroyer, but tries to help humanity live. For example, people always complain when they're late for work. But what if those 5 minutes saved you from a car crash that could have changed the rest of your life, potentially even killing you? There could be a reason behind everything, so make sure not to take it all so negatively. Also, God, or whatever higher being you believe in, is supposed to be all-knowing, everywhere at once, but God or not, that's hard to do. So what if there were many gods? What if the higher being or beings are still learning, just like us, and are more human than we thought they were? I do believe that we all have a soul, but what if we were all a god, or none at all? I do believe that heaven and hell exist, but what if you're not that good, or not that bad, and don't deserve to be in either? Is there an in-between? I think so. I believe that if a soul doesn't want to go into the light, it stays into the human world and becomes a ghost, possibly explaining the reason for paranormal activities that we experience. Yes, a little goofy, but it's my brain. An afterlife could exist, but the soul could refuse to cross over. But what is the afterlife like? Is it a replica of this world just with people that aren't alive anymore? But what if no one truly dies and just get regenerated into another life? What if souls could retire when they don't want to live any more lives and they go into the afterlife with other retired souls? These are all questions I've pondered, but have never truly found an answer. I'd like you all to think about this for yourselves. Now, I do believe that everybody has a free mind in this world, so why don't we use them? I've come a long way in this journey. It was a struggle trying to figure out all the thoughts that were rushing in my head. Go figure, the one time I use it, it's hard. There are many people in this room that have aided me on this journey. I would first like to thank my mentor, Kate. She did a lot of work helping me find ways and words to express my thoughts and feelings. She was always so nice and always lends me that helping hand. I thank my dad for listening to me ramble in the car about my feelings and thoughts and answering my questions. I thank my mom for understanding when I needed a minute to think and answering my questions about her spiritual journey without hesitation. I thank my older brother for giving me his insight and supporting me in this journey, as he knows what it's like to do all of this. I thank my little brother for always keeping a smile on my face, even if I didn't appreciate it at the time. I thank Barbara and Karen for being amazing people to grow up around and being there the whole time, making me smile. I thank the rest of my family as well, there's a lot of us, and for them answering my questions and dealing with my thoughts. I thank Tracy, who is also an amazing person to be around, answering questions before I even asked. I thank all the other COA teachers that taught us, giving us concepts to think about during class, even those horrible tongue twisters. Lastly, I thank the rest of the people in this church and the people in it for always having been a safe haven of no judgment and nothing but love. I will continue to grow and change, go on other adventures, and come to this church. Thank you.
Turn around.
Our Share Plate recipient for May is 914 Cares. For 10 years, 914 Cares has been providing essentials to those in need across the county. They collaborate with the local partners to educate about the realities of poverty in Westchester and to encourage actionable generosity. CUUC worked with the 914 Cares most recently in our successful children's clothing drive back in January. Thank you for your kindness, compassion, and your commitment to making CUUC and the world a better place. Your support truly makes a difference.
join me in the spirit of prayer with these words from Dana Worsnop that resonate well with us today. Often people say that they love coming to a place with so many like-minded people. I know just what they are getting at, and I know that they aren't getting it quite right. I don't want to be with a bunch of people who think just like me. I want to be in a beloved community where I don't have to think like everyone else to be loved, to be eligible for salvation. I want to be with people who value compassion, justice, love, and truth, though they have different thoughts and opinions about all sorts of things. I want to be with independent-minded people of good heart. I want to be with people who have many names and no name at all for God. I want to be with people who see me in my goodness and dignity, who also see my failings and foibles, and who still love me. I want to be with people who feel their interconnection with all existence and let it guide their footfalls upon the earth. I want to be with people who see life as a paradox and don't always rush to resolve it. I want to be with people who are willing to walk the tightrope that is life and will hold my hand as I walk mine. I want to be with people who let church call them to a different way of being in the world. I want to be with people who support, encourage, and even challenge each other to a higher and more ethical living. I want to be with people who inspire one another to follow the call of the Spirit. I want to be with people who covenant to be honest, engaged, and kind, who strive to keep their promises and hold me to the promises I make. I want to be with people who give of themselves, who share their hearts and minds and gifts. I want to be with people who know that human community is often warm and generous, sometimes challenging, and almost always a grand adventure. In short, I want to be with people like you. Some joys and sorrows shared by those here today. From Cindy and Daniel, they shared joy. To all the coming of agers, we are so proud of all that you've... What's with the handwriting? Bear with me. To all the coming of agers, we are so proud of all the work that you have done this year. You are awesome. Thank you. Ted Dreyer shares a joy. As of this Friday, both of his daughters, Alicia and Erica, will have moved into new homes in Port Washington. Very happy that they are so close and that they live near each other. From J.C. Good, yesterday marked 16 years since a distracted driver took half my family and half my body. Thankfully, the sanctuary hosted a Friends of Pete Seeger, a concert, a perfect way to celebrate the life I am so grateful to still have. A sorrow is shared from the Force family. Their family is mourning the loss of their dear friend, Frank O'Hay, who passed away Friday morning. He was a great man, and he will be missed dearly. For our children, Devon, Stephanie, and Stephen, congrats to the COA students. From Janet Wafer, shares a joy. Her brother has recovered from his colon surgery. From Ellen, thanks to so many for your kind words and epidurals. From Nora, a joy. My brother-in-law has a brand new kidney. We are so relieved and happy. From Bice, our beloved furry daughter, Twyla Jean, flirted with death this week, but 2 days in, the animal hospital brought her back to good health. And it's with heavy hearts, that we share that Ryan Kirk's father died unexpectedly this week. We send our love to Ryan and his family. Please sign the card for the Kirk family during coffee hour. Now please join me in a moment of quiet.
Our next hymn invites us to welcome peace into our lives despite whatever craziness may come our way. This song has two opportunities for you to participate. There's the singing part and there's a percussion part. Or you can do both if you're feeling brave. But do pick one. So I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to do the chorus first. And I'll invite you to rise and body your spirit. Get those bodies moving a little bit. So Barbara, if you could just play that first one for me, and I'll show everyone what I mean. Here we go. Open the window, children. Open the window now. Open the window, children. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Open the window, let the dove fly in. So you see what I mean? We got a window, we got the dove, and we got a little spicy salsa in the beginning where we just clap along at the end. So let's do that all together. Everyone know what you're going to do? You're going to sing, you're going to clap, or whatever you're going to do. Open the window, children. Open the window now. Open the window, children. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Mama and Papa are fighting like snakes. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Baby is a-crying like her heart will break. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Open the window, children. Open the window now. Open the window, children. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Neighbors lock their doors, build fences so high. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Don't see what's discovered on the other side. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Open the window, children. Open the window now. Open the window, children. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Borders round countries, borders round the sky. Open the window, let the dove fly in. The only border close to you is the border around your mind. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Open the window, children. Open the window now. Open the window, children. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Open the window, let the dove fly in. One last time. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Look at all those doves. That was wonderful. Thank you. Please be seated.
I am reading these words from Jonathan's mentor, Ryan Kirk, who sadly could not be with us today. I had never met Jonathan before I became his mentor, and during our first meeting, he was very quiet. That shouldn't be surprising, I guess, because as much as I consider myself to be a sparkling conversationalist, I doubt it's any teenager's idea of a good time to explore their core spiritual beliefs with someone who could name far more Atari games than the one Jonathan enjoys. I quickly learned not to take his reticence as disinterest, however. By our second meeting, I was struck by how deeply he engaged with the topics and questions we discussed. He has been unfailingly thoughtful, open, and honest, both with himself and with me, during this entire process. It has been a pleasure to not only get to know Jonathan on a surface level, but also have the opportunity to be there and support him as he has wrestled with his views on some of life's most important questions. I can only hope he has found the experience as edifying and enjoyable as I have. Jonathan.
Be grateful. Being grateful can mean so many things, like being grateful for getting an A on your test, or being grateful for your family and friends. Being grateful is important because it helps us recognize what we have and it helps us appreciate things. It also helps us by not taking things for granted. Gratitude is also important because it helps us recognize the good things we have. By being grateful, we appreciate and recognize the moment we are in, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. Recognizing the moment means understanding the impact that our thoughts and actions have on ourselves and others in the here and now. We are acknowledging the interdependence between ourselves and the world around us. A while ago, my parents used to have a pet dog. I remember I never paid much mind to it and it was kind of just something there. When the dog passed away, I remember being sad for not doing more with her. Years later, I reflect on this and realize that I should have been more mindful and grateful to have that dog. This taught me to appreciate things more because we might not have them tomorrow. Gratitude is also a gateway to many other values such as empathy, compassion, and appreciation. Compassion helps me see and understand the suffering and misfortune of others, and that leads to empathy, which helps me see and understand the feelings of another. In all of this, I recognize that everyone has their own struggle, and that I am grateful for everything I have. I'm grateful for everyone that has helped me on this journey. I'm grateful for my family, friends, teachers, my congregation, and my mentor, Ryan.
Good morning. I met Sophie when she was a bubbly preschooler and must have taught her in RE class at least 4 or 5 years over her time here at CUC. We went on a road trip to the UU General Assembly in Ohio, and we represented CUC and carried that CUC banner in a banner parade. Sophie is a beautiful gem. She has so many facets to her personality and life. She is quiet and shy. She is energetic and agile. She is creative and artistic. She is smart and fluent in many languages, and she is a world traveler. She is loving and a very good friend. I was honored to be her mentor this year and would like to introduce you to Sophie.
Hello. Today I'm going to talk to you about something that I've explored a lot this year: spirituality. For me, spirituality is like a state of being relaxed, at ease, and being able to clear my mind in order to focus on something else, or simply to be in the moment. For you, this could be just about anything, from doing puzzles, maybe going on walks, or even writing. Personally, I like to sit down and draw or journal while I listen to music, because it really helps me get away from reality and just feel calm and peaceful. Journaling is helpful to me because I can write about anything that's on my mind. Keeping my thoughts on paper is like having someone to talk to, except they don't have to give you advice, they just listen, and they can't judge you. When I'm journaling, I'm free to write whatever I want, and that makes me feel relieved, especially when I have something to say but don't want to tell a real person about it. Ari has taught me over the years that spirituality can mean lots of different things to lots of different people. Some people might have similar ideas of what this word means, but no two people are exactly the same, and that's part of what makes everyone's journey unique. This is one of my favorite things about being a UU. We're all different and special, and we can recognize that and express ourselves without being judged. In order to feel like you're truly in what I like to call a spiritual mindset, you need to clear your mind and stop thinking about everything that might distract you from being in the moment and not worrying about anything. This can be difficult because there's lots of things going on around you, and you might just want to sit around on your phone or do something that could worry or distract you, like reading the news. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's good to put down your devices sometimes and take a break every now and then. A few things that could help you relax are drawing or going on walks or meditating. These specifically might not work for you, but no matter who you are, your age, your race, your gender, or your sexuality, and anything else that might define you as a person, there's always something that you can do to take your mind off the things going on around you. One of my favorite spots to sit and relax is my room. This might seem like an obvious place, but I have a few reasons. The first reason would be that my room is comfortable. I have pillows, blankets, a beanbag chair, a soft carpet, and a nice bed. Being comfortable is important to me because I feel more relaxed and at ease when I'm laying down in my bed than if I was sitting on a hard chair. Another reason for liking my room is that it's a space that I have all to myself. I don't have to share anything with anyone, and everything belongs to me. This is good because I don't have to worry about anyone looking through my stuff, and I can put things wherever I want them to be. When I'm in my room with my headphones on, I don't have to pay attention to anything. All I hear is my music or birds chirping outside of my window. While these things keep me centered within myself, when I'm engaging with the world, I have my friends to keep me balanced. They're always there for me if I need to talk to someone about something that's really helpful. Some of my friends have known me since we were little, and others I've met more recently. One thing that makes them all similar is that they're very helpful, and I can ask them for help when I need them. It's really reassuring to know that at any time I can just text or call someone if I need to. In conclusion, both the internal tools that I've developed and the relationships that I've built with others help me maintain a sense of peace that allows me to recognize and appreciate the spiritual connections around me.
I have had the privilege and honor to have been chosen by Tracy to be the mentor for my coming-of-age mentee, who I had first encountered a few months before after Tracy had previously recruited me to be part of the Grand Pals program that was featured as a part of last week's service. I also had the opportunity in both of these programs to meet my mentees' parents, Eric and Jillian. My mentee is a very, very quiet and shy person, and usually very soft-spoken, sometimes almost to the extent of being nearly inaudible. But as it is sometimes said, still waters run deep. In meeting with my mentee, I learned that though they may be quiet, their mind is nimble and quick and analytical. And when they do speak, they often have something interesting to say and worthwhile to hear, even if I have to strain to hear it. I learned about their love for role-playing games and theatrical productions and acting. One of the highlights of the past few months was I had the honor of being invited to see them perform the role of Lithuanian Ambassador Baklava in their middle school's very professionally presented musical theater production of a work called Crooks. My usually soft-spoken mentee delivered an amazing performance and exhibited a capacity to speak at a normal volume, even though they were sporting an Eastern European accent. I learned about their love for stories drawn from ancient and other religious traditions, usually called myths, but which go beyond the realm of mere entertainment and often contain morals or lessons that are sometimes lost when they get Disneyfied. During this coming-of-age program's progression, I have seen my mentee embark on developing not just a credo statement, but also questing on a journey of self-discernment and self-discovery. I've spoken enough by way of introduction. It is time for my mentee to speak their own words as I stand here with them and behind them.
Hi, this is my credo statement. I believe there's a divine force, like a God of nature or of the universe, that's one with everything and everyone, and that there's similar, like lesser divine, like saints in Catholicism or Loa in Voodoo or gods in Wicca and Hinduism. I personally find Voodoo, Spiritism, and Wicca to be religions I strongly connect with because the idea of a lesser divine makes more sense to me than like an old guy in the sky who decides everything. The idea of the idea of a God of nature. However, I also believe that love and kindness can be a sort of divine force. Additionally, I think that everyone deserves respect and that even evil people can be redeemed and become good, similar to the first principle, the inherent worth and dignity of every person. However, people still need to make up for and face the consequences of their actions. As well as this, I think that every human life is priceless and that animals as well should be treated with respect in the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. Similar to the second principle. I'm finished with my credo statement, but not finished with my spiritual journey.
Unfortunately, Sonia's mentor, Sarah Carr, could not be with us today, so I am reading her words. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce Sonia Prozes. Tucked between basketball games and trips, family and friends, and excelling in school, Sonia and I have met over the last few months, in person and on Zoom, and I think we both share a delight in busy, full lives of connection and productive activity. Sonia, unlike me, though, is an accomplished athlete, shining not just in basketball, but in volleyball and lacrosse. Someday, I hope to go to one of her games. I think what struck me full force when I met Sonia, when we talked during service one day in the foyer, was that Sonia was uniquely present for me, for our conversation, even amidst all of this wonderful busyness. There was a kindness that I could feel underlying that presence, and I got a very strong sense that Sonia is the type of person that shows up for other people. I think you will get that clear sense of that from her statement. And now I give you Sonia Prozes.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're still awake. Don't worry, I'm the last one. But here we go. I have come up here today to talk about what religion means to me. From going to many bar and bat mitzvahs, to playing in CYO games at churches I didn't even belong to coming to CUUC, I have learned a lot about different religions and what they believe. Bar and bat mitzvahs were very fun. Many of my friends are Jewish, so there were quite a few that I went to. There was a long stretch where I went to one almost every weekend. It would start off on a Saturday morning by going to the local temple for the service. I always found those interesting because it wasn't just talking about Judaism, but also about what these kids did to volunteer and what they've taken out of Hebrew school and all the opportunities within their 13 years of life. There was a lot about gratitude that I've taken away from these services. Almost everyone talked about who and what they were grateful for. After the service, there would be a really fun party that night. All in all, the experience was pretty nice. CYO basketball was a church league that I participated in when I was about 8 through 12. CYO stands for Catholic Youth Organization. It was so fun. I played for the church for a while, even though I wasn't a parishioner. My mom helped out with that by being the coach. Since I was in preschool, CUUC has helped me learn about religion and to become who I am. I've always loved how we pay so much attention to nature. We would often go outside to listen to the birds or search for frogs. I am definitely someone who loves animals, so I loved that aspect of Sunday school. I also think the 8 principles are very important for everybody's lives. No matter who you are or what you believe in, the 8 principles are always something you can follow. I agree with every single one of them. I may not exactly know what my religion will be for my whole life, or what I believe about God, but I do know some of my core beliefs. My beliefs at this point are more moral values rather than explicitly religious. They include gratitude, kindness, and love for family and friends. I think gratitude is so important and so underestimated. I'm someone who grew up in a nice town with many friends and family who live very close. I know that is something that is not true for everyone in our world, so I express gratitude for that. I've always been very thankful for my family for doing so much for me. They feed me, clothe me, take me everywhere I need to go, and spend so much time with me. I have loved being able to grow up with my parents home almost every night. My cousins live very close, and so do my grandparents, so that is something I'm very grateful for. I think family is so important in becoming who you are as a person and being with the people that you love. Gratitude is also the first step to giving back to others. It is so important to express gratitude because it can always make someone feel better and help them when they need it most. Many people don't feel gratitude and can easily become stuck on themselves and their needs. Since I am so grateful for all the opportunities I've gotten,
I've wanted to give back to my community. I've helped different groups of people when they were in need. I want to do more and have just gotten started, but recently my town has been having a lot of floods. There's a part of Mamaroneck that is very low in elevation, and they are normally the people whose houses get wrecked. They also happen to be the people in Mamaroneck who are at least able to quickly fix all of the damage with money. I've donated clothes and other necessities to them when the big floods come by. Something else I've done is help with the Midnight Run. The group I worked with is run by one of the churches in Larchmont. It delivers food to homeless people on the streets of New York during the nighttime. I've helped to make food and care packages for the homeless that then would get delivered. It was a great experience and something I was happy to be a part of. Someday soon, I'm planning to actually go out to New York City and give the food and care packages to the homeless people. Gratitude helps us give back, and it also helps spread kindness. I believe that it is so important to be kind. No matter who you are or what problems you're dealing with, you have to realize that everyone has problems. You never know how much a wave or a little conversation can make someone's day 10 times better. Being kind to someone that looks like they're sad, or even someone who looks like they're happy, is always something I try to do. When my friends include me in dinner plans or a sleepover, it makes me feel a little bit better about myself. I love spreading kindness, so I always include whomever I can. It may not always seem easy, but a little effort from you can make someone a whole lot happier. I am a big believer in giving back to the community, being kind to all people, and loving what you have and who you're with, and I credit CUUC in part for those beliefs. You have helped me to figure out what I believe my moral values are. The 8 principles connect to my moral values in many ways. The first principle states the inherent worth and dignity of every person. I believe this connects to my beliefs about kindness and gratitude. Everyone has a worth, therefore everyone deserves respect and kindness. Thank you to my parents for everything, to Sarah Carr for helping me pull together this statement, to Tracy Breneman for her organization and patience with my insane basketball schedule, and to this congregation for being a part of who I'm becoming.
Our closing hymn is beloved in this congregation, and these amazing humans have probably heard it many times, and many of us equate that with being here with family, with our community. Who is our family? This hymn has sometimes been called the Unitarian Freebird. It is often requested and often overplayed, but it's always loved. I invite you to rise in body or spirit for Blue Boat Home.
Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and tricked me. Dimming fragrance urging me on. Greet the infinite sea before me. Sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms. Never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Please join me in saying our chalice extinguishing words from Elizabeth Sell Jones. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
It has been a pleasure to be together today. Our weekly e-communitarian RE newsletter and printed weekly announcement handout offer many details of activities here at CUUC. Before you get swept back up in the busyness of life, take a moment to discover all the interesting offerings awaiting you within our community. Immediately after worship today, there will be a newcomers conversation circle. Grab a coffee and meet Mary Cavallero and Jessica Lidd in the lobby. We will meet in room 41 in the green hallway. Childcare is available in the nursery. At 11:30 in Fellowship Hall and on Zoom, there will be a congregational forum about UUA Article 2. The Lehigh Good Journey Group meets at 11:45 a.m. in room 43 in the green hallway. You can find information and Zoom links on our website calendar.
What a wonderful service. Let's give a round of applause to the community. Good morning. I'm Creighton Cray, Chair of the Board of Trustees. And as Chair, I'm announcing that the Board of Trustees is calling the annual meeting of the congregation following the service on Sunday, June 2nd, for the purpose of receiving annual reports, voting on the Board of Trustees slate presented by the nominating committee, electing members to the nominating committee, voting on CUC's budget for July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025, approving proposed amendments to CUC bylaws, and approving the CUC covenant. CUC members who have signed the book before May 2nd, 2024 are eligible to vote in this annual meeting. We need a quorum of 25% of our membership in order for voting to proceed, so please make a special effort to attend. The meeting will be held in the sanctuary and online, on Zoom online. Information about the candidates, the budget, bylaw amendments, and the covenant can be found in emails that have been sent out to members, links in the e-communitarian, and hard copies in the lobby. Additionally, there are 2 planned Q&A sessions online. On May 22nd, our esteemed treasurer, Chris Cortland, will hold a Q&A session about the budget, and on May 30th, Board of Trustees members will hold a general Q&A session. Please see the newsletter or calendar for more information. The annual meeting, by the way, will be followed by a potluck in Fellowship Hall. Thank you.
Now please join us for a coming of age celebration during coffee hour and spend a few minutes talking with someone you don't know.